Ma'am, is it clear now, ma'am?
1 second. I can't hear the voice properly. That's the problem. 1 second. Hello. We can start.
Thank you, ma'am. May the sunset take away all your stress, worries, and turmoil. May your evening turn out to be soul relaxing, replenishing, knowledgeable, and great. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dr. Sudhir Raj in Memorial Webinar Series organized by Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, under the banner of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in association with DIKSHA E-Learning. In today's session, we will be dealing with an insight to Kupipakwa Rasayana by Dr. Vidyashree. Before starting the session, I'd like to go through a few of the basic instructions to be followed throughout the session. For uninterrupted class session, use laptop with a high-speed internet connection. Please make sure your microphone is mute to have a disturbances-free session. In case of any disruption, please check your internet connection firstly, and if the problem is with our network connection, kindly raise the issue in the chat box. Filling a full name to be displayed is appreciated. Any question can be posted in the chat box. Questions raised will be cleared at the end of the session. Now, I'd like to invite Dr. Divya P.S., Assistant Professor, Department of Agadha Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Namaste. Good evening, one and all. Myself, Dr. Divya from Ayurveda College, Coimbatore. On the behalf of Ayurveda College, Coimbatore and DIKSHA E-Learning, it gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to our guest speaker, Dr. Vidyashree, Assistant Professor, Department of Rasashastra and Vaishya Kalpana, MRN, Ayurveda Medical College, Bagalkot, Karnataka. And she's here to detail to us the concept of Kupipakwa Rasayana with the title An Insight to Kupipakwa Rasayana. Let me proudly welcome all the delegates who have joined with us today and welcome you once again. Welcome you all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Vidyashree, ma'am. Ma'am has completed her B.A.M.S. from Sri C.B. Gattal Ayurveda Medical College, Dharwad, and post-graduation from Sri Dharmasthala Manjunateshwara College of Ayurveda, Udupi. Ma'am has presented about 10 papers in national and international seminars and has also published several articles as main and co-author. Ma'am is now currently working as the assistant professor in MRN Ayurveda Medical College, Pagalkot. We're extremely obliged to have you here, ma'am. So without any further ado, let me hand over the session to the most respected Dr. Vidyashree, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the kind introduction. I also extend my organizing committee of DIKSHA Academy and I Coimbatore for giving me an opportunity to share my view on the topic.
Ma'am, sorry for the
hello.
Ma'am, sorry for the interruption, ma'am. Ma'am, your
What
voice is
happened?
breaking. Your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Okay.
Could you please check your network connection, ma'am?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it audible?
Yes, audible now, ma'am. Ma'am,
It's
could you
clear
please
now?
share your screen, ma'am?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now.
it's clear. Yeah,
Okay.
better now, ma'am.
So before starting the Kupipakwa Rasayana, first I would like to tell a few things about the Rasa Shastra. The Rasa Shastra subject itself explain the meaning of Rasa Shastra.
Okay, sir. Sir, yes, sir. 20 ಮಾತ್ರ 100 rupees, sir. ಯಾವ್ದಮ್ಮ? ಅದು ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ವಾ? ಏನು? ಕಿವಿಗೆ.
So Rasa Shastra, the Rasa Shastra word itself suggests the meaning of Rasa Shastra, that science of Mercury. In Rasa Shastra, the Mercury has a important place where the all preparations are mostly preparing with Mercury. First importance is given to Mercury because this is having a highest Rasayana quality, which is widely used in Rasa Shastra. Later, other metals and minerals are mentioned like Maharasa, Uparasa, Sadharana Rasa, Ratna Varga, Upavisha, so many metals, minerals explained in Rasa Shastra. But whenever the Rasa Aushadhis, practice of Rasa Aushadhi comes in the mind, practice of Rasa Aushadhi, then we think lots of caste Aushadhis are there, but still why we should use that Rasa Aushadhi. So here importance of Rasa Aushadhi mentioned in classical, which is one of the quotation mentioned in Rasendra Sara Sangraha, that Alpa Matra Upayogitvat Arucher Aprasangataha Chipram Arogya Daitvat Aushadhyobhyo Adhiko Rasaha. So Rasa Aushadhis which are used in Alpa Matra and Arucher Aprasangataha. If it is given, it should not produce any discomfort, easy to administer, and Chipram Arogya Daitvat, which is cures the disease very quickly. Aushadhyobhyo Adhiko Rasaha. And even the shelf life of Rasa Aushadhis are more. Even one more quotation suggests the importance of Rasa Aushadhi is that the physician who is practicing the Rasa Aushadhis is considered as a superior Rasa Vaidya. So Uttamo Rasa Vaidyastu Madhyamo Mulikadibihi Adhamaha Shastra Dahabhyam Itam Vaidyastriha Mataha. 3 types of Vaidya mentioned in the superior place given to the Rasa Vaidya, who is practicing Rasa Aushadhi. Such Vaidya is considered as a superior. So today we will see one of the Rasa Aushadhi, that is Kupipakwa Rasayana. Rasa Aushadhis are mainly classified into 4 categories, that is Karadiya Rasayana, Parpati Rasayana, Kupipakwa Rasayana, and Pottali Rasayana. But today I am going to discuss about Kupipakwa Rasayana. Moving to the introduction, Kupipakwa Rasayana is one of the Murchana Bheda of Parada. So Murchana Bheda is mainly divided into 4 categories, which I already explained. It is Kupipakwa Rasayana is one among them. And here Murchana are 2 kinds of Murchana are there. One is Murchana, which is includes in Ashta Samskara of Parada, which is used to remove the Chapalata and Chanchalata of property of the Parada, which is used for Nashta Nashtapishta Karakam Murchana, that is mentioned in Ashta Sanskar of Parada. Whereas Murchana is a procedure which is explained for Mercury, Tat Vidhi Prabhedena Rasasya Avibhicharataha Vyadhighatakata Yasyat Samatha Murchana Budaihi. So, by different procedures inducing a special property, that is Vyadhighatakata property in the Rasa. Rasasya, in the mercury, without failure, without a vebichara, that is called as a murchana. This murchana is different and that murchana is different. Only the akara, here murchana is there and there murchana is there. Next, moving to the meaning of this Kupipakwa Rasayana. Here the meaning, the preparation, the medicine, the product name itself suggests the method of preparation, that is Kupi means glass bottle, Pakwa the method of Paka, and Rasayana. Rasayana here which destroy the Jara and Vyadhi. Such Aushadhi are called Rasayana, and also which increases the Bala, Varna, Kanti, and which gives the Prashasta, Rasa, Raktadi Dhatu are called Rasayana. So here Kupipakwa Rasayana are the name itself suggests the methodology involved in this process. Next, moving to the Nirukti. We didn't found any such references regarding the Nirukti in any classical text. This quotation is taken from a compilation textbook, Kupyam Agninam Pakvam Yat Rasayanam Tat Kupipakwa Rasayana. So here the product which is prepared in Kupi, that is glass bottle, through the Agni should be given here by the Valuka Yantra. Using the Valuka Yantra, the Paka should be done by applying heat through the Valuka Yantra. Yat Rasayanam Tat Kupipakwa Rasayanam. Hello?
Follow the instructions in your Alexa app.
So a product which is prepared in a glass bottle by applying heat through the Valuka Yantra, such preparations are called Kupipakwa Rasayana. Next, history of Kupipakwa Rasayana, how the Kupipakwa Rasayana evolution takes place. Initially in Samhita Kala, there is no reference regarding Kupipakwa Rasayana or Rasa Sindhura found during the pre-Vedic, Vedic and Samhita period, that is up to 600 AD. But some Kala you can get the references regarding Swarna, Rajata, metals like Loha and Tamra, such references you will get, but nowhere you will find the preparation of Kupipakwa Rasayanas you will get in pre-Vedic, Vedic and Samhita period. Later in 9th century AD, the Gandhaka Jarana for the first time mentioned in Rasa Hrudaya Tantra, then further it is developed as a Kupipakwa Rasayana. In 12th century AD, Sri Dundukanatha, the author of Rasendra Chintamani, was the first to introduce Kupipakwa Rasayana preparations in the Ayurvedic therapeutics. And then in 13th century, the reference of Kupipakwa Rasayana is also found in the Rasa Prakasha Sudhakara in the name of Udaya Bhaskara Rasa. This is the Rasa Sindhura is found in the name of Udaya Bhaskara Rasa, and he has given the Rasa Karpura preparation by the name Ghana Sara Rasa also. And in the Rasa Prakasha Sudhakara, the yantras, Sikta yantra is also mentioned at Valuka yantra, which is used for preparation of the Kupipakwa Rasayanas. Next, moving to the next slide. In 15th century, Sri Anantadeva Suri explained Kupipakwa Rasayana Vidhi in his text Rasa Chintamani in the name Rasa Parthiva Rasa. In Rasaratna Samuchaya, in Uttarardha, Kupipakwa Rasayanas like Sarvalokashraya Rasa, Pramehari Rasa, Sarvanga Sundara Rasa, etc. are described. Then in 19th century AD, the Rasa Tarangini textbook mentioned a lot of Kupipakwa Rasa, Rasa Sindhura, Rasa Pushpa, Rasa Karpura, Makardhwaja and Swarnavanga etc., along with modification like use of sulfuric acid in preparation of Rasa Karpura. Rasa Tarangini itself is a wonderful book. Lot of modifications, lot of new usage of new things mentioned in the Rasa Tarangini. And in Sharandara Samhita, Talasta Rasa Sindura is described in the context of Rasa Marana while explaining the Rasa Marana or preparation of Rasa Bhasma. So Talasta Rasa Sindura is explained in Sharandara Samhita. And one more, the book is there, Rasa Kupipakwa Rasayana Vijnaniya, which is written by Harisharananda. So there 256 Kupipakwa Rasayanas are mentioned in that textbook. Next, moving to the Kupipakwa Rasayana classifications. So these classifications are based upon the use of Gandhaka, based upon the Nirmana Vidhi, and based upon the Prapti Sthana. First classification is based upon the use of Gandhaka. Here, the if prepared Gandhaka, then it is considered as Sagandha Kupipakwa Rasayana. Examples, Rasa Sindura, Swarnavanga. So there are a lot of Kupipakwa Rasayanas are mentioned which are Sagandha. Nirgandha, which is prepared without Gandhaka, and examples are Rasa Pushpa and Rasa Karpura. Only few references, only few preparations we will get regarding the Nirgandha Kupipakwa Rasayana. Based upon the Nirmana Vidhi, based upon the method of preparation, again the main classifications are Antaradhuma and Bahirdhuma. Here in Antaradhuma, Antara, the Dhuma should be inside, remain inside only. So here we have to do corking in the beginning, and here papers are not allowed to escape. Example, Makara Dhoja Rasa and also Rasa Sindura. Rasa Sindura is prepared by both the methods, Antaradhuma as well as Bahirdhuma. In Antaradhuma, we are not using the Valuka Yantra here. Different setup mentioned for Antaradhuma in Rasa Tarangini. Bahirdhuma, cork applied after complete burning of sulfur. Example, Manikya Rasa, Rasa Sindura. Rasa Sindura can be prepared by both the method Antaradhuma as well as Rasa Sindura. For Bahirdhuma, you can go for Valuka Yantra method. Next, based upon the Prapti Sthana, based upon the where the product is collected, classification is made. So Kanthastha, Talastha, Ubhayastha. Kanthastha, here the product will be obtained at the neck region of the Kupi. That's why it is Kanthastha. Here the rationality behind the collection of product at the neck region is that when Parada and Gandhaka get sublimated at the temperature, provided temperature, then during this process, these Parada and Gandhaka get collected, sublimated Parada and Gandhaka get collected at the neck of the bottle. Example, Rasa Sindura and Rasa Karpura. These two preparations are obtained at the neck part of the Kupi. Next, Talastha. Here, the product which is obtained at the bottom part of the Kupi. Here, the rationality behind the collection of product at the bottom of the bottle is that metals which are having higher melting and boiling points like copper, tin, gold get deposited at the bottom. Like in Swarnavanga, example here Samira Pannagarasa and Tamra Sindura, Makaradhoja, here they collect at the bottom of the bottles. Ubhayastha, here the product will be collected at both the part, Kanthastha and Talastha. That is called, it is Ubhayastha. Here example is Ingulya, Manikya, Rasa. Next, moving to the procedure, the Kupipakwa Rasayana whole procedure is divided in 3 headings, that is Poorva Karma, Pradhana Karma, Paschat Karma. In Poorva Karma, we can see the preparation of Kupi, which is very important in Kupipakwa Rasayana because Kupi is the main instrument which we are using for Kupipakwa, Rasayana, so that selection should be very important. Here, in practically what we are using is beer bottle or any strong bottles you can select. So strong glass bottle should be taken and cleaned it and completely dry it. Later wrapped with mud smear cloth for 7 times. Why 7 times it is mentioned? Because to increase the heat susceptibility and to resist the more pressure. That's why the 7 times layer mentioned for the Kupi. And each layer should be applied after proper drying of previous layer. And the neck of the Kupi should be long to collect the product at the neck part. So that kind of bottle should be selected. And one more important precaution you have to take during the wrapping the Kupi is that in between the layers there should not be any air bubbles. Otherwise, what will happen during preparation, due to that space, the Kupi may burst. So you have to avoid such kind of air bubbles during the wrapping of the Kupi. Next, moving to the Kupi Bharana. Kupi Bharana, after preparation of Kupi, before Kupi Bharana, whatever ingredients mentioned for Kupipakwa Rasayana, that should be do the proper shodhana and then go for bhavana, whatever particular bhavana dravya is mentioned, do bhavana with that dravya, and after complete drying of that product, it should be dried and make it a powder, and then it should be filled in a kacha kupi. Up to 1/3 part of the kupi it should be filled. Why it should be filled 1/3? Because to provide enough space inside the kupi for melting and boiling of the drug. If you are filling the kupi like more than 1/3, what will happen? The product, because gandhaka is there, so gandhaka, if it start boiling, it starts coming out. So to avoid that, we have to fill 1/3 part. Next, after filling the kupi, go for placing the kupi in the valuka yantra. Valuka yantra should be placed in the bhatti. Nowadays, vertical furnace we are using to reduce the time and to reduce the fuel consumption and all. We are using the recent advancement technique, that is vertical furnace. Otherwise, we are not having that vertical furnace. They are using the bhatti, which is explained in which are used by traditional practitioners. So Valuka Yantra, that should be placed in bhatti. In Valuka Yantra, 2 angula of Valuka should be filled initially, and then Kupi should be placed in the center. So here, after placing the Kupi, the surrounding of the Kupi should be filled with the Valuka up to the level of the neck of the Kupi. The main aim of keeping the Kupi above 2 angula of Valuka is that it should get indirect heat. Otherwise, if you are keeping directly into the Valuka Yantra, it will get direct heat. To avoid that, we are keeping the 2 angula Valuka first, and then we are keeping Kupi in the center. In the center, if we keep Kupi in the center, then the Kupi will get uniform temperature. That's also very important. So these are the images. In first, you can see the Kupi preparation, which is wrapped with 7 layers mud smeared cloth. So you can use multani mitti, which is very soft. Otherwise, you can go for clay also. Other mud you can use, but it should be free from sand particles. Next, the Kupi Bharana. Here you can use funnel, so easy filling. After filling, the Kupi should be placed in the Valuka Yantra. Pradhana Karma. After Poorva Karma, the Pradhana Karma plays an important role in the preparation of Kupipakwa Rasayana. Here the first importance is given to Agni. Here the Agni should be in Krama. In classical text, Acharyas has given more stress for maintaining the Krama Agni. Means gradual increase of heat during the process is very important in Kupipakwa Rasayana. Krama Agni pattern is categorized as under Mrutu Agni, that is 150 degrees Celsius to 250 degrees Celsius temperature, which is required for melting of kajali. Madhyama Agni, that is 250 degrees Celsius to 450 degrees Celsius temperature, which is required for boiling of kajali and changes of properties. Here, in this Madhyama stage, different chemical changes starts during this stage, and in Tivra Agni 450 degrees Celsius to 650 degrees Celsius temperature it attained, and it is required for complete Pachana of the compound and for forming Sindhura or sublimation of the compound. This Tivra Agni temperature is required. So in classical text you can see some of the references where they mentioned about the Krama Vradha Vanni, and even duration of the specific duration for preparation of these Kupipakwa Rasayanas. First Rasa Sindhura you can see here. In Krama Vradha Vanni Yoga Vipachet Rasam Mrudu Vannina Cha Purvam Vipudo Dviyama Matram Tibra Vanni Yoga Vipachet Dviyama Matram. First Vanni should be, Agni should be given in Krama Vradha. In gradual increased manner, Agni should be given for Yoga Pachana, for Pak of this Kupipakwa Rasayana. Initially Purvam Mrudu Vannina for 2 yama, at the end Tivra Vanni, that Tivra Agni should be given for last 2 yama. And in Makara Dvaja also you can see the Agni pattern they mentioned. Purvam Yama Dvayam Pachet Mrudu Vannina Rasam Madhyam Anala Yogaj Yama Dvayam Avashishta Dviyamacha Punas Tivra Agnina Pachet. So initial 2 yama for Mrudu Agni and Madhyama Agni for next 2 yama, and last 2 yama it should be given Tivra Agni. In Swarnavanga also it is mentioned the specific time, that Chatur yama, 4 yama. So here also in throughout the procedure you have to maintain the gradual increase of heating pattern. That is very important. In Samira, for Samira Pannagarasa, yama ashta, 8 yama is mentioned. Here also throughout the 8 yama here 24 hours. So 24 hours you have to maintain this Krama Agni. Yama Dvayam Rasa Pushpa, here 2 yama is required for this preparation. Next is Shalaka Sanchalana, which is very important in Kupipakwa Rasayana. Here Tapta Shalaka and Shita Shalaka, both Shalakas we are using. Tapta Shalaka, that is red hot iron rod, is used for melting of the extra sulfur which is deposited at the neck region of the Kupi. If this red hot, this Tapta Shalaka is very important. Otherwise what will happen, whatever the deposited sulfur is collected at the neck of the Kupi, if you are not applying the Tapta Shalaka, it will block the mouth of the Kupi. Along with that, vapors will remain inside the Kupi, and which increase the pressure inside the Kupi. Because of that, there may be chances of breaking of Kupi. To avoid that, throughout the procedure, till the sulfur gets completely burned, you have to use the Tapta Shalaka. Insert the Tapta Shalaka in the mouth of the Kupi. Next, Shita Shalaka. Shita Shalaka is used to know the state of kajali, whether it is in powder form or melted or in boiling stage. Next is Pakasiddha Lakshana, which is very important before corking. Before corking, we should assess the Pakasiddha Lakshana of Kupipakwa Rasayana. Here, fumes of Gandhaka get stopped coming out of the Kacha Kupi, and flames also. Fumes and flames of both Gandhaka gets stopped coming out of the Kacha Kupi, and the bottom of the Kupi should be look like Suryodaya Vatvana, that is reddish in color. This this Lakshana is difficult to see in daytime. It's better to see surrounding if darkness is there. So this Lakshana you can see very clearly. Next is copper coin test, which is very commonly used in Kupipakwa Rasayanas. That is, Tamrapatra is placed over the mouth of the Kupi. Then it gives white sheds of Parada, which indicates that Paka completed and Parada starts coming out. When Parada starts coming out, when you are keeping the Tamrapatra over the mouth of the Kupi, that Parada reacts with the Tamrapatra. Because of that, the color changes in the Tamrapatra. Instead of Tamrapatra, you can use Tamra coin also. Mukha, mudrana, that is corking. After assessing all the Paka Siddha Lakshana, go for corking. In Tikshna stage, before corking, you have to remove the sand which is present surrounding of the Kupi neck region. That should be taken out. Then cork is fitted into the mouth of the Kacha Kupi, and then it should be wrapped with the mud smeared cloth. After corking, the removal of Kupi from Valuka Yantra. After complete Swangashita of Valuka Yantra, the Valuka is slowly removed from the sides of the Kupi. Then the Kupi should be carefully taken out. Here in this video, you can see the yellow fumes is seen when the kaja is melting. So these yellow fumes are coming out. Here you can see the bhatti, what we are using, this kind of bhatti we are using. But here the wooden fire is required more. Nowadays, some other kinds of bhattis we are using where we need only the less amount of fuels and all. Here you can see the flames. The height of the flames also indicate the quantity of sulfur and arsenic present in the compound. If the height is more, then it indicates that the arsenic or sulfur is also is present in more quantity. How the sulfur is escaping out, like sulfur is reducing, then this height of the flame is also reducing. Next, this is corking. So you can see the surrounding of the Kacha Kupi, the Valuka is removed up to the neck part of the Kupi to provide the space to collect, to provide the space for sublimation of the product. Paschat Karma, after corking, after this Kupi is taken from the Valuka Yantra, then Kupi bhedana. This is a very important procedure for Kupipakwa Rasayana, where all the layers of Kupi should be removed slowly and carefully with the help of knife, and then it should be cleaned externally. A thread which is dipped in kerosene or spirit you can use is tied to the Kupi, where the product is collected below 2 inch below to that product, this thread to be tied, and then this thread is ignited. While the thread starts burning, the breaking sound of Kupi is heard. Then the Kupi is covered with wet cloth and slight pressure is given. Then it breaks into 2 even pieces. Then go for collect the product which is of Kantastha or Talastha should be collected and stored in airtight container. Here, Kupi bhedana, breaking of Kupi is also very important. You should follow this technique. Otherwise, what will happen? It may contaminate with the glass particles, which are also shining in nature. And if it mixes with the product, it is difficult to separate from the end product. That's why this method, which mentioned in classically, we are following this bhedana method only. Here you can see in first image the glass bottle which is cleaned, all the layers are removed and cleaned externally. So you can see the product where the Kupi product is collected, and then in next image the thread which is dipped in kerosene or spirit is tied to the glass bottle and ignited. It is burning, and below wet cloth is kept ready. When the breaking sound is heard, immediately it should be wrapped in wet cloth, and then it is cut into just give a slight pressure. It's cut into a even pieces, and that is the end product which we get at the end. Kanthastha. Analysis and examinations for Kupipakwa Rasayanas, physical or organoleptic examinations like color, order, consistency, crystalline or amorphous structures. Chemical examinations includes like qualitative and quantitative, and instrumental examinations like XRD, X-ray diffraction, XRF, X-ray fluorescence, SEM, that is scanning electron microscope, EDX, energy dispersive X-ray. These all techniques we are assessing to know the structure of the compound and to assess the chemical analysis. These instrumental analysis we are performing. Next, moving to the therapeutic utility. Here, only few preparations I would like to discuss here. So first the thing is Rasa Sindura, which is widely used by the Rasa Vaidya and all the physicians, which is commonly used in their clinic, is that Rasa Sindura. Rasa Sindura is mainly prepared from Kachali, and indications it is Yoga Rasa, and it is having Rasayana property as well as Yoga Vahi Guna. So because of that, it can be administered with any other dravya, and it is having lot of indications. So because of its Yoga Vahi Guna. Here, based on the age, Rasa Tarangini text you can get from child, from the Balavastha to about 12 years, you can prescribe the Rasa Sindura. The dose is mentioned as 1 year aged child, the dose is 1/16 Rati, and 2 year aged child, it is 1/7 Rati, 6 year aged child, it is 1/3 Rati, and 12 year aged child, it is half Rati. About 12 years, we can give up to 1 Rati. Next, moving to the Makhara Doja, which is having Swarna. In the preparation, we are using Swarna, which is very good for Vajikarana as well as Rasayana property. The dose is half to 2 Rati. Swarna Vanga. In Swarna Vanga, there we are not using any Swarna, but because of the end product, whatever we are getting, it's of Swarna color. That's why it is called Swarna Vanga, which is indicated in Shweta Pradhara and Prameha and other lot of uses mentioned. Just I mentioned only 2 indications here, which are main indications. Here the dose is 1 to 2 Rati. Tala Sindura, Vata Kafaja Roga, which is indicated in Vata Kafaja Roga. The dose is half to 1 Rati. And in Malla Sindura, Vata Kafaja Roga, it is indicated in Vata Kafaja Roga. Again, the dose is half to 1 Rati. Samira Pannaga Rasa. Samira means it is the synonym of Vata. Pannaga, control, which controls. Here, the Kupipakwa Rasayana, which is mainly used in Vata Roga, which controls the Vata Vyadhi. Such preparation is called Samira Pannaga Rasa. So it is mainly indicated in Vata Roga, and dose is 1 Rati. Shila Sindura, Vata Kafaja Roga, again it is half to 1 Rati. So here you can see all the arsenic compounds like Tala, Malla, Samira, Shila. So these all are having arsenic compounds and mainly indicated in Vata Kafaja Roga, and dose is also very less because arsenic compounds are very Sukshma and Ushna, having very Ushna Guna. So that's why the dose is very less, and even whenever you are using the arsenic compounds, you should not use alone. You should use along with other drugs. Next is Rasa Pushpa, that is indicated in Firanga and Hikka. In Rasa Pushpa, the Kasisa is used. Here Firanga, Hikka, along with other drugs also it is mentioned. And it is mainly indicated, so many conditions it is indicated, but it is having antimicrobial activity, so it can be given even in skin diseases also. Internal administration half to 2.5 rati. In Hikka it is mentioned 1/8 rati, and in Firanga it's mentioned 1/4 rati. Rasa Karpura, which is which is used for mainly as a antifungal activity. So here for Krimi and mudrana it is used, but internally the dose is different. Rasa Karpura Drava it is mentioned. For internal 1/64 to 1/32 that is mentioned. For internal administration, Rasa Karpura Drava is mentioned, which is prepared by Rasa Karpura plus Navasadhara. It should be taken 5 rati. Then it should be mixed in 6 tola cold water, 60 tola cold water, and that should be given up to 30 to 60 drops should be used. Next, Manikya Rasa. Again, Manikya Rasa is having arsenic compound. Haratara is there. It is mainly indicated in Kushta Roga, skin diseases. The dose is half to 2 rati. Importance of Kupipakwa Rasayana. Why these Kupipakwa Rasayanas are having very important role in Rasa Shastra. So these Kupipakwa preparations have Rasayana quality due to their unique method of preparation as well as specified time period which is taken for their preparation. And potency of these drugs remains longer period. Their shelf life is also more, and it requires minimal dose. Alpa matra. You can see the importance of Rasayana that they are using alpa matra but very effective. They gives result in alpa matra also, and easy for administration. Because of its taste, is easy for administration and more potent as compared to other preparations. And when it mixed with other drugs, it reduces the dose of other drug also. Due to its yoga vahitva, due to its ashukari guna, it can cure even asadhya rogas. So these, after looking these all qualities, Kupipakwa Rasayanas plays a very important role in Rasa Shastra. Next, moving to the conclusion. Kupipakwa Rasayanas are the product of complex chemical process. You can see since the beginning till the end, a lot of chemical changes will take place during the preparation. Like starting in the Mridhu Agni, Tajali starts melting. So here there also lot of chemical changes takes place, and then in Madhyama Agni, the bonding. The chemical bonding starts in Madhyama Agni, and at the Tibra Agni, so many complex chemical process takes place in the Kupipakwa Rasayana. And here in Kupipakwa Rasayana, due to heating pattern which makes the formulation lagu, and thereby it's enable the drug to penetrate faster and deeper into the tissues. These Kupipakwa Rasayanas are considered as a Sukshma Shrotogami, so means which can enter very Sukshma Shrotas also. The method of preparation is much exhaustive and complicated, but still it has its own significance because of specific pharmaceutical process and excellent clinical result with minimum therapeutic dosage. We know that it is very exhaustive and complicated, but still we are preparing and we are using this Kupipakwa Rasayana, means we can understand that how important, how good it gives the result in the clinical practice. So with this, I would like to finish my presentation. Thank you everyone for hearing me patiently. If any questions, any doubts is there, you can put in chat box.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for taking your time to prepare for such an exceedingly informative session. We shall now go ahead with the question answer session. Delegates may post your questions in the chat box or raise your hands to get your queries cleared. Ma'am, we've got a question in the chat box. Is use of Kupipakwa Rasayana useful or safe during pregnancy?
Yeah, we can use this Kupipakwa Rasayana in pregnancy, but before using any Kupipakwa, because they are containing mercury, kajal is there. So many other preparations which are having kajali we are practicing, but there are a lot of I didn't say anyone that they are practicing these. Kupipakwa Rasayana in pregnancy, but if you know how to, the dose is very important. So if you know the exact dose, what dose should be prescribed for the pregnancy lady, so that then you can prescribe, but it's little bit risky. Rasa Sindura we can prescribe. Rasa Sindura we can prescribe. Rasa Sindura without any fear we can prescribe. But some other formulations we have to think before using.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Moving on to the next question. Ma'am, could you please tell us something about Hemagarbha Potali?
Actually, Hemagarbha Potali is a potali preparation. That is again Rasaushadhi classification, which is mainly after Kupipakwa Rasayana, we will see that Hemagarbha Potali. It is because of its compact nature that are called as and prepared by Potali method, that is Hemagarbha Potali, and that they are considered as an emergency medicine. So lots of indications are there mentioned that Hemagarbha Potali is having lots of indication and so many complication condition you can prescribe it as a emergency medicine.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The next question, ma'am, could you please share your experience using Rasa Sindura and its side effects on kidney, ma'am?
Any Rasa Aushadhi, there is a particular time that is if you are prescribing any Rasa Aushadhi, it may be Kupipakwa, it may be Potali, whatever. The time duration will be, you have to think about the time duration also. If you are using any, like example Rasa Sindura only, if you are using Rasa Sindura more than 6 months, please you go for LFT, RFT. That is a safety for the patient also. And I didn't experience any side effects on kidney by Rasa Sindura.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The next question, is there any specific contraindication of Kupipakwa Rasayana?
I think mainly there is no such references like contraindications of Kupipakwa Rasayana is not there, but better if you use Kupipakwa Rasayana if needed. Otherwise, go for Cast Aushadhi only.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Delegates, any more questions? You may post your further questions in the chat box or raise your hands to get your queries cleared. Ma'am, our next question, have you ever seen side effects using Hemagarbha, ma'am?
Actually, Hemagarbha Potali, I said already, any preparations in Rasa Aushadhi, it's depend on the if you're preparing the medicine in a proper way, then you won't get any side effects. If the preparation is having like Shodhana, if the Shodhana is not done properly, if the preparation is not done properly, then obviously we'll get side effects. If the preparation is in proper manner, if the Shodhana is done in proper manner, then you won't get any side effects in the Rasa Aushadhi. Even after using Hemagarbha Potali also, I did found any side effects.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We've got few questions on the YouTube live chat. Ma'am, could you please focus on the clinical utility of Kupipakwa Rasayanas, ma'am?
Actually, here clinical utility, you go through the Rasayana text. There is Amayika Prayoga. In each Kupipakwa Rasayana, they mention Amayika Prayoga very nicely. In each condition, each disease with Anupana, particular which medicine we have to mix and how much dose, that all things mentioned in Rasayana. So you just go through that book. It is a very wonderful book. You will get all the clinical application you will get in that textbook.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Our next question, can Rasa Aushadhi be given along with Kashta Aushadhis, ma'am?
Yeah, surely. Because Kast Aushadhi are having very less shelf life, as we all know, and Rasa Aushadhis are having more shelf life. If you are mixing that Rasa Aushadhi along with Kast Aushadhi, even you are increasing the efficacy of that Kast Aushadhi, and again you are reducing the dose of Kast Aushadhi also, because Kast Aushadhi dose we know that it's in Kasha Matra, 12 gram and all. If you are mixing these things with Rasa Aushadhi, you can use the dose also in very less Matra.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Is there any Patya and Apatya for taking Kupipakwa Rasayanas, ma'am?
Mainly the general things, whenever we are taking Rasa Aushadhi, you should always follow that Pittakara Ahara and Kakarashtaka Gana Varga, all dravya should be avoided. Whatever, because mercury is there. In all Kupipakwa Rasayana, you can see mercury is there, and in mercury, whatever the Patya Apatya is mentioned, that all things you have to follow. Almost try to avoid the which will induce the, because this is itself Ushna and having the Ushna Guna, so that's why you have to most Ushna Dravyas you should be avoided.
Thank you very much, ma'am. When will these Rasayanas lose its potency, or up to which time, as there's a compulsion to mention the expiry date of these Rasayanas, ma'am?
These Kupipakwa Rasayana actually in Samhita you can see the Rasa Aushadhis are having no shelf life. If it's older, it is more effective. But nowadays, according to D&C Act, we have to mention the expiry date and all. Nowadays, it is 5 years for Kupipakwa Rasayana. So after till that we can use 5 to 10 years. We can use this Kupipakwa Rasayana according to D&C Act.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Our next question. How can we explain to allopathy doctors about our Bhasma preparation, and how do we validate it? Is the nanotechnology the explanation to the answer question, ma'am?
I think there are no need to explain to allopathy doctors. Nowadays, lot of research were conducting where they are finding the structure of the compound, which if we found that structure of the compound, if we know, and mercury already we know it is a toxic in liquid stage. When it converts in a powder form, such research also conducted, because mercury HGS is not a toxic. One research is conducted. I think it is in some article I read. I'm not able to remember which article, but such research were conducting. Yeah, nanotechnology is the explanation. We can't explain other branches, allopathy and all. It's very difficult to convey them, because according to them, mercury is a very poisonous drug. But in our science, we know what is mercury, and there are a lot of shodhana, marana, everything is mentioned. But still, lot of research we have to conduct to prove the how these bhasmas are effective and they are not producing any side effects. Otherwise, in future, we lost mercury also. I think already so many things we are hearing about the mercury. Mercury should be banned and all. If mercury is not there, then Rasa Shastra itself is nothing.
Rightly said, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Delegates, any more questions? Ma'am, the next question is, which book can we consult about or refer for the Rasayana with modern aspects?
With the modern aspect, actually, I don't know about book. Exact books are not there in Rasa Shastra, so you have to go through so many articles and so many. We have to go for Wikipedia and all, because you won't get anything in one book only. Even I have to refer so many. One book is there, Rasatantra Sarava Siddha Prayoga Sangraha, which is very good book. In that they mention the each Rasayana, even Kupipakwa, all Rasa Aushadhi, Cast Aushadhi, everything they mention, how to use, what's the dose, and how it will act in the body. That also mentioned in that text. So according to me, there you won't get modern aspect. If you want modern, then refer other articles and so many other kind of books also there. You can go for that. Rasa Tantra Sarava Siddha Prayoga Sangraha.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Delegates, any more questions? Thank you, ma'am. We have now come to the end of our question answer session. Thank you for answering all the questions with so much patience. It was great listening to you today, which was a beautiful and brainstorming session. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, I request Dr. Madhu Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Shalyatantra, Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, to deliver the oath of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Ayurveda College, Coimbatore and Team DIKSHA, it is my privilege and a great joy for me to extend a vote of thanks for today's session. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Vidyashree ma'am for showing light into the topic, Kupipakwa Rasayana. I am sure that the participants are immensely benefited by being here. We are all inspired by your words, ma'am. Thank you so much. Last but not least, I extend my thanks to all our delegates here who are untiringly taking part in our sessions. Hope to meet you all in our upcoming sessions also. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. We have now come to the end of the session. See you all in the next session. To know more about updates, please do stay connected with our social platform. And that's all for today's most interesting session with a lot of new information for us to close our eyes with. Meet you all in the next session. Thank you all for joining us.